Live from Brazil, ADXC presents 5 3-minute rounds in a light heavyweight jiu-jitsu contest and is the second of our co-main events.
Representando a família Gracie, ele tem 22 anos, pesou 93,2 kg, oriundo do Rio de Janeiro, Brasil, Rayron Gracie.
Introducing first at 22 years old, weighing in at 93.2 kilograms, representing the Gracie family from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, now fighting out of London, England, in the blue corner, Rayron Gracie!
Coming to the cage first in the white gi, a member of the most famous family in all of martial arts, the representative of the modern generation of competitors from the Gracie family, Rayron Gracie. He's only 22 years of age, recently promoted black belt, representing carrying the legacy of the family on his shoulders, but at the same time embarking upon his own journey in the sport. Just at the very beginning of his black belt career, he was promoted at the end of 2022, and this his first ever super fight as a black belt, Braulio. That's a pretty memorable occasion right there.
Well, it shows a lot, you know, his mindset for the
Atleta da equipe Aliança, 29 anos, ele pesou 93,4 kg, oriundo de Caruaru, Pernambuco, Fellipe Andrew.
And now would you please welcome his opponent. He is 29 years old, weighing in at 93.4 kilograms. Representing Alliance from Caruaru, Brazil. Now representing San Diego, USA. In the red corner, Fellipe Andrew.
Next up to the cage is the very experienced, very dangerous submission hunter, Fellipe Andrew, hailing from a small town in the countryside of the state of Pernambuco in the northeast of Brazil, now based out of San Diego, California, and representing the Alliance team. Fellipe Andrew pays his respects to the coaching team, the corner of Rayron Gracie, before making his way over to the red corner, where he also has his longtime coach, even though he's no longer technically on the same team, Rodrigo Cavaca. Now here is a little look. There were main event competitors, or co-main event competitors in the gi, excuse me. Fellipe Andrew versus Rayron Gracie in a light heavyweight bout. In the corner of Rayron Gracie, Braulio, we have Renzo Gracie, Gregor Gracie, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw Kira Gracie there earlier as well. Half Gracie is here too. You can tell that they support their own.
And of course, I was expecting them to come on the little, you know, back to back like back in the UFC. Now here, Fellipe Andrew straight away to the guard pool, holding the spider guard, grabbing both sleeves.
Yeah, Rayron Gracie needs to be very careful here. You talked about his defensive abilities. He definitely will have worked on that. I'm sure, having trained with Roger Gracie, not having really had much choice, you have to defend against somebody like that. But Fellipe Andrew has got a very, very dangerous guard game. You can see he's using like a almost like a cross lasso from this double sleeve grips. And one of his principal attacks, as we saw in ADXC 1, is the triangle from the guard. He shoots it up so quickly, so deadly with that attack, that I think that is the principal move that Rayron Gracie is going to have to be very, very careful of.
Yes, I mean, Rayron is putting a lot of pressure here. Just need to be careful to stay with the knees too far away, to don't fall into the triangle. That Fellipe is really, really fast at it. But that's what Fellipe is trying to kind of push the pressure, to create a space, to weave the legs and shoot in the triangle. But the pressure that Rayron has is kind of unmatched in this time. There's so much pressure, and he's keeping the elbows together, making Fellipe Andrew work a little harder to keep the guard.
Yeah, right now this low defensive posture from Rayron Gracie is smart because he's keeping his elbows very tight. You know, he's not overcommitting with his head going forward, because I'm sure that Fellipe Andrew would really like to bring him to him and start using those legs as levers to try and unbalance him. But Rayron Gracie, you mentioned it actually, Braulio. You feel that Fellipe is going to be a quick starter, where you feel that Rayron potentially will try and slow the pace down and take it into the later rounds.
Yes, he will be putting a lot of pressure, relentless pressure, and you know, feel the opponent. Like now, for example, you know, he's not going to just move to the second trial. He's going to put a lot of pressure there, making Fellipe to work to be there. You know, his base is very wide and heavy. It's very hard to sweep from the spider guard here. Cavaca give the instructions to Fellipe Andrew.
Yeah, you can hear him saying that you know, to use that guard against the arms of Rayron Gracie. But I like this posture. There is the famous Renzo Gracie and Gregor Gracie in the corner of Rayron Gracie, and I like the defensive, I like the forward pressure of Rayron. I do. I got to say that he's very disciplined with his grips, very disciplined with his arms. Nothing really significant so far in that round, but you know, I'm not going to score it either way. But I got to say that so far, Rayron has passed the first test. Would you say so, Vanessa?
I mean, I would say that it's definitely interesting to see that he's more offensive than what we were expecting. The Gracies are very much so known for their defensive postures. And, you know, we were expecting a little bit of a slower start. We knew that was going to happen. But seeing him being in this position and making sure that he was really pushing forward and trying to pass the guard, I thought that was interesting.
Yes. The thing is, in this game here in DXC is only 3 minutes, right? And now after a minute, Fellipe Andrew is probably well recovered because nothing much happened, which would be a different match if it was a 10 minutes round, right? So Fellipe couldn't get no submission. Rayron put a lot of pressure but didn't get close to pass, and now is a reset. So I'm looking forward to see what's going to be the strategy made according to when the round comes.
Yeah, in effect, if you think about it, 5-round match is basically 5 different matches potentially.
Correct. And then the start has to be different. Now Rayron is doing
completely
a
different.
game now, putting against the cage, which here we go again. It's all going to be about the very first start, you know.
Yeah, and we know that Fellipe was looking forward to submitting in the first round. So now that it's gotten past that,
triangle threat.
Even though it's only in the second round, you know, when you're constantly trying to search for those things, then, you know, that's going to wear on the gas tank a little bit, but he looks so calm in there.
You know what this position reminds me of? And we mentioned about how Rayron has had the privilege of training with so many guys from the Gracie family, but he's also trained extensively with his cousin's husband, Bernardo Faria.
Oh, yeah.
And this position,
look at that pass,
looks a lot like Bernardo.
Roger does that as well.
Oh, of course.
Being there, done there.
You felt it.
Yeah. So this is a way that Rayron gonna have to kind of put Fellipe in a difficult situation to waste energy. But now he's free now. So that's the thing of this 3 minutes thing, you know. Renzo screams, pass. Do it, pass straight away. Come on, pass. Don't stay there. Don't stay there.
Yeah, I mean, Rayron's...
yeah, you can see Renzo in the background there. Excuse me, but as you see Renzo and Gregor in the corner right there in front of Fellipe and Rayron.
Well, because Rayron had double unders, so you know, it would have been a great time for him to try to flip from side to side and at least get Fellipe off of the squareness that he has and potentially pass the guard.
You can see that Rayron is really aware and cautious about the triangle shots. You know, always matching wherever the foot goes to protect you don't get whipped and surprised on the shots. Rayron this time put a lot more pressure than the first round. We expect things to get better by the rounds.
Yeah, I'm curious what is going through Fellipe's mind right now, because he continues to fight for the grips, and I see he's trying to keep his feet to the inside, but he's not necessarily setting anything up, nor does he have any sweeps available at the moment. So it's just him being in bottom position, truly.
Yeah, he has some sweeps from there that he managed to get very successful on his career, but you can see how wide the base is from Rayron. Is with the both knees apart. It's very hard to turn him because he's very heavy on his hips.
Another relatively uneventful round, very closely matched. Still very much feeling out process, I feel. However, you mentioned it. I'm going to say it again, Braulio, about how Rayron is playing the long game in this match.
Yeah, but it's difficult, right, for you to change completely your game way of fighting. But he definitely got a little closer this time than the first round, whereas there was no threat of any possibility of sweeps or submissions from Fellipe Andrew. So as the time goes, we will see when both of the fighters get a little tired what's going to be the differential with the pressure. Here, Fellipe Andrew on the left, breathing, trying to think about his strategy for the next round, whereas Rayron just looked to get his gi ready.
Let me tell you, as an MMA fighter, to be sitting across the cage from somebody in between the rounds, like, you know, there's doctors in your face, your coaches are telling you stuff, they're feeding you water. I mean, there's so many things happening in that one short minute of time.
That's a double leg here.
Perfeito, Rayron. Vamos brigar pelas pegadas.
Oh, there's a little bit of a different strategy now, because, you know, we were wondering if that the stand-up game would be a factor at all, because we know that Rayron's been working a lot of his judo. However, Fellipe Andrew's got some of the best wrestling in the gi that I've seen in jiu-jitsu. He's got a really nice collar drag. He's got slick single legs. There is a little look at the collar drag into the single right there. So this is a very different strategy now from Fellipe Andrew. He's like, hey, I've had 2 rounds to try and get my guard game going. It's not worked. I got to change things up.
Yeah, and that's how he looked like he was thinking about something. And now Rayron, again, playing very conservative here, holding the both collars to avoid any hip throw from Fellipe Andrew and avoid any possibility of double or single legs. You know, and Fellipe is trying to do something, but now against the cage, which is a good, that's the game plan, I believe. That look, he needs to put against the cage and try to get some the back of Fellipe on the cage.
Yeah, I was noticing how far away Felipe's hips were, even though he was trying to do some more snap downs, and I was actually just waiting for the guard pull, and then there we had it.
You really hear Renzo urging Rayron to get on the gas and to try and get around that guard. Rayron's done a great job so far in facing down the extremely dangerous attacks of Fellipe Andrew. There is the corner again of Renzo and Rayron Gracie. To be honest, man, can you think of many people better than that in your corner? Wow.
Eu te falei de manhã, tá mudando o ângulo. Joga ele pra cima da cabeça agora e recupera o espaço.
This position here is the position that Rayron loves to do.
Joga a ponta do joelho esquerdo na frente do ombro.
Very hard to keep him off you.
Essa ponta do joelho esquerdo é sempre aí.
I'd like to add how impressive.
This is getting closer. He's getting closer. See, he's getting closer every time, every round.
He's moving further and further around the guard and getting that almost that shoulder into the stomach, right? But
There was a moment I feel like almost got caught with one arm in, but luckily that's
Getting closer again, even closer now. Armbar attack, well defended. And did you see the defense? He already prepared the possibility. Now Fellipe Andrew trying to kind of hold him back a little bit. There's a lot of pressure, Rayron. You can see that Fellipe is not even thinking about sweep or submission. He's thinking about breathing. And this pressure here that Rayron has is relentless. It's a non-stop pressure.
You know, you just mentioned something very interesting there. See if we can count how long Fellipe has been trying to play guard now over these last 3 rounds. And how many attacks has he actually initiated in all that time? The truth is, not many. The truth is that he's been looking for the grips. Rayron has given him absolutely no opportunity or opening whatsoever. And as you mentioned there, it's actually the opposite is now happening. Rayron is the one putting the pressure on.
Yeah.
And Fellipe is actually kind of bearing that weight.
And this is going to get worse by the round. You know,
Well, we're
that's
into
what
the
he's good
championship
at.
rounds now. This is the 4th round of a possible 5. So they've been fighting for 9 combined minutes.
So you could see that every single time, every single new reset, Rayron got the better out of. Much better than the previous one.
And heading into the championship rounds, I mean, this is what we were talking about. You mentioned it earlier, Braulio, how Rayron's more of a slower starter. So now, you know, we've slowly been watching him progress and progress. I'm truly impressed at how well he is doing, considering he's going up against somebody like Fellipe Andrews, who has so much experience.
Little takedown.
Huge takedown.
Now he's dangerous.
Zoltan Bathory from Rayron Gracie. Beautiful use of the judo skills there in throwing Fellipe Andrew down to the ground. And he is in an attacking position here, but could Fellipe Andrew reverse this?
has
There's
a
the
choke
choke
on.
at play.
The choke is on.
He's got the side of coach. He's a top! He's a top! Rayron Gracie
Oh my
with the
God.
4th round
In the
submission.
first opportunity.
Can you believe it?
I actually cannot believe it.
What an unusual finishing position. It looked like Fellipe Andrew was going to jump all the way around and out of danger and only made the choke tighter, Vanessa.
Yeah, Fellipe Andrew actually got his leg up over Rayron's legs and had them pinned. He was starting to move into the mount position, but that choke, we didn't even see that was in. And before we know it, Fellipe Andrews was tapping. Beautiful, beautiful takedown, amazing judo, incredible patience. Rayron Gracie is truly impressive.
It all came from the judo takedown, the Osotogari, the outside leg sweep. Rayron Gracie was able to throw Fellipe Andrew down to the mat, and then once they were there, he immediately got to attacking the neck with the collar choke. And didn't take long, but he was able to effect a fight-ending strangle using the gi. What a beautiful, look at this position, Vanessa. It's such an unusual, unorthodox position. It's like he didn't have his back, but he had enough of his back to be able to see the neck, and that was all he needed.
I mean, he knew that position. Like, he must have done that 100 times in training, because we were sitting here watching it and couldn't see anything of that. All we saw was the judo throw, and then we saw him potentially getting reversed. And before we know it, he's the one doing the tapping over here.
Very emotional moment as well, because Rayron Gracie winning his first super fight ever in Brazil. You see Flavia Gracie, Kira Gracie, Health Gracie, Hanzo Gracie, Gregor Gracie, all in the cage. Even Rayron's grandmother is in the cage here to support. When the family come out, they really come out. And there is a very special moment for the young man. Wow, an amazing beginning to this young man's black belt career.
And to finish by a submission. To truly solidify.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Oliver Geddes called stop the action at 2 minutes and 20 seconds of round number 5. For your winner by collar choke, Rayron Gracie!
Vitória vitória por finalização de Rayron Gracie. Por gentileza, a gente convida o prefeito Fabrício Oliveira e o presidente do Congresso de Balneário Camboriú, David Labarrica, para a premiação.
Here to present the winners' trophies, please welcome the President of Congress from Balneário Camboriú,